Merriam-Webster defines smorgasbord as a luncheon or supper buffet offering a variety of foods and dishes. Similarly, life in and of itself is a variety of people, careers, and cultures. Join me, Matt Bingel, as we discuss how each individual became the person that they are today, and whatever else they want to talk about too. It's an open invitation, and you're invited. So come on in and grab a seat. Welcome to Bingel Smorgasbord. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bingo Smorgasbord. Come on in, grab a seat. My name's Matt Bingle. Welcome once again to Bingo Smorgasbord. Today on the program, I am excited to welcome a puppeteer friend of mine from the West Coast, specifically San Francisco, California. He has not been puppeteering for more than a year, but he has become one of my favorite puppeteer friends on the internet. He is super talented. His name is Skorpio Smith, and he is very, very talented. He's got a lot of great characters and a lot of great personalities with them. And we'll talk about personalities of puppets and how he got into it, as well as dream collaborators, because who doesn't like dreaming? Plus, we'll also talk about social media and being an artist on social media. Basically, how do you balance the demands of social media while being authentic to your art? It is a fantastic conversation, and I hope you enjoy our amazing chat with Skorpio Smith. Enjoy. Skorpio, welcome to the Smorgasbord. How you doing, man?
Hey, Smorgasbord, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
I'm so excited that you're here, man. Thank you for reaching out, and I'm really happy that you're here. So, kick this off, as I said in the intro, you're fairly new to the puppet world. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, man. Scorpio Love Smith. I've been into puppet world for like 9 months. This month is 9 months. Before that, just solely was a dancer, entertainer, and then I got into this world of puppetry. Went to a couple classes um, with Michael Shoup in San Francisco here where I live, and that was kind of cool. Building a puppet and you know learning how to do the counts, and seven, and
Yep.
then the alphabets, and then just getting I started my Instagram channel, so I decided like, yeah, you know what? Let me I had an Instagram presence, but it was just like the name Smorgasbord. It was just a whole bunch of random things from being on my electric unicycle to dancing to, just whatever. And I didn't really do much on it. So, it was like, just very little on there. So then I decided, um, let's get into puppetry. So, when I got into puppetry, that's when I decided to make it a puppetry channel and just go along with. I bought an Amazon puppet, and it was one of them silly puppets, and it was kind of cool. I think I named him Cyrus or something like that, and then I had fun with him, trying to figure out his personality, whatever. And then I bought a puppet off of Etsy that looked like a really low budget Oscar. And when I got it home, it was really low budget Oscar. I was like, oh wow, they really like, you really know that they made this from their heart at home. It was you had to. So I just called him Swamp because he didn't look nothing like Oscar. Really, I like he's like a cousin of Oscar. And I did my first post with those two puppets, and it was kind of well received. I was so shocked. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then from then on, the reason I got into puppetry is because I was at home, and I had a surgery. I had an eye surgery, and it had to be lay low for like a month. I had to heal and stuff, and wear an eye patch at night and stuff like that. And because I got hit in my eye, like a couple years ago, and from helping some lady out on the street, and this guy, he was like, I don't know if he was homeless or what, but he sucker punched me when I turned around, and it just caused, over time it caused my eye to be very blurry, like so they just basically took the lens and replaced it, and now it's good as new. So but the downtime was crazy, so I couldn't lift anything over 8 pounds, so I'm sitting at home, darkness, and I remote control. And I knew the Muppets existed before Sesame Street, but I never really was into it. You know what I mean? I'd watch other things, and I was a builder as a kid growing up, and working on like kits. I love putting helicopter kits together and car kits together and painting, and building go karts. That's where my focus was. So I'm watching TV because what else you gonna do, right? And so then my friend loaned me their Disney account. They gave me their account, and then I started watching the Muppets and stuff. And so I was like, this is really cool, man, because and that's what prompted me to get those silly puppet Muppets and stuff. And then I started watching YouTube documentaries on it, and I was like, this is a really cool way to express yourself, and I just fell in love with it. And and then I saw people on YouTube like yourself, doing those shows and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this is cool. It's kind of a blur, to be honest with you. It's been so
Yeah,
many
right.
people I have met and interacted with, and then when I get into something, I go all in. You
Mhm.
know, like when I danced, straight up, same path without an injury. I would I started, like, my friend brought it home with, like, these cool video of movies of dancing, and I was like, we were watching. I'm like, oh, I want to learn that, and I learned it all in reverse too, which was kind of funny because of the break dancing and stuff, and people were like,
Oh,
oh.
wow.
They're like, dude, how'd you learn how to do that backwards? And I was like, oh, I learned from watching the TV, And so, but it turned out to be cool because they couldn't do it in reverse, and then I would learn the other way around. Um, and then here's the cool thing: just like with dance, with puppetry, I realized there was no right or wrong, um, like philosophy on it. I'd watch
Right.
Frank Oz interviews, Jim Henson. I watch other puppeteers that are well known that are not as well known, but you'd have to know them to know that they worked in those industries. They worked, on the Muppet Show sometime with characters you might not be familiar with, and they would have their own little classes. They tour and do like New York, LA, or whatever, and then they would show different ways that some people disagree on how you do the puppets movements. Some say you pop it out like this, you like that. And some say, oh, you just keep the thumb going up. But some people would say, well, you can't do that with all puppets because some puppets are really stiff and you have to move the, the whole hand to make it
Right,
move.
right, yeah.
Yeah. And just all these different philosophies. So then I learned, I said, oh, I got to figure out what's best for me. That makes it work. Which was cool because there's so much to puppetry. People think you just put your hand in there and just move a puppet around, but you
No.
have to bring it life. You have
Mhm.
to
Yep.
animate it. And one of the problems I had early on was like I'm talking, but my puppet's just dead in space. like, like it was like, so I had to learn to like move them around when you're talking and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of how I got into it, and then um, I like the ventriloquist part as well. So I said, oh, let me work on that, and then I met a couple people on Facebook and stuff like Wally and Waldo.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
love them.
yeah, I see them doing it. And so he reached out to him and he goes, oh, he sent me a video of his techniques. And then recently I watched a Dummy Detective movie, and then I just liked it. And I just made a review with my puppet on it. And I tagged the guy, Dummy Detective, and then he reached out and was like, oh my God, thank you for watching my movie. And could you, do some like reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and Letterbox because people were scamming his movie, making crazy remarks that were, just dumb, you know what I mean? And so I said, sure. And then he appreciated that. And then he started giving me tips on how he started from 11 years old and blah, blah, blah. And so that's my journey been. And so I've been learning really fast and just enjoying different ways to be creative and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, you and I, we had similar starts. I mean, my first puppet was also a Silly Puppets Amazon puppet too. So yeah, it's wild. Uh, uh, you
How
were,
did you? What made you fall in love with it?
I've I've always loved puppetry.
Okay.
I've watched Sesame Street from an early age. Fraggle Rock I started watching when I was 8. I didn't discover the Muppets until a couple years after that. Like I knew about the Muppets. I didn't really become a fan of them until maybe I was 11 years old. I went to Walt Disney World in Orlando for elementary school graduation gift. My parents saved up, took my brother, my parents, and I. We went to Florida for 5 days, and we went to Disney's Hollywood Studios one day and saw Muppet Vision 3D. I'm still sad that that is gone. By the way, I really am.
Oh no,
Um,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. And it was amazing. Granted, it had been there for 20 years at that time, and really hadn't updated since 1991. But it was so cool, and it's like, and then a couple months later, the Muppets came out with their movie, first one in like 12 years. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. Um, yeah, it was Sesame Street early, and then Fraggle Rock when I was 8 years old, and then the Muppets later. Shocking, I know. But that's how I got started with my love of puppetry. And Bear in the Big Blue House too was a big one as well. I think it might have been. I'm trying to remember if it was either Sesame Street or Bear first, because I had the Playhouse Disney compilation CDs that came out in the early 2000s. I think the second one came out in like 2003, and it had some Bear songs on there. They didn't have the videos; they just had the songs, and some songs from Bear. I think from the fourth season were on there. I think it was "It Takes All Kinds" and the Woodland Valley Cha Cha. I think both great songs,
Ah,
by the way. So I'm trying again. I don't remember which one came first. Again, this was a long time ago, but that's how I found my love of puppetry. And then the pandemic hit, and it was weird because I see all these people. Like I want to shout out one in particular. One of the first ones I came across, I believe, was Chris Palmieri of Lucky Duck Puppets. He's been doing it a long time. He did. It was very cool. He did these live streams on Saturday mornings on Facebook, and they were mostly for kids. Um, but I was like, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do. Nobody's got anything to do. We're in a
right.
pandemic. Why not? and and it was really appreciative of me showing up every Saturday morning watching it. It was awesome. It really was. I love Chris Palmieri. He's one of the first I came across. And then there's Larrikin Puppets in Australia.
I've been
I
watching a lot of them.
I love Larrikin Puppets. They were actually, you had mentioned my legend. They were actually one of the very first guests I ever had 6 years ago, and we've been really close ever since. And as time went on, I discovered more people, and it really became like this big community. And it still is, but it's like it really started to grow, and it's like, man, there are quite a few people doing this. This is neat. And so I had won a $50 Amazon gift card from my college. They were doing a survey, and I had won one. And I'm like, you know what? I got this $50. I got birthday money left over. Why not try my hand? No pun intended. At puppetry. And so I
I love
got
that.
I got Marty Munster, my orange puppet buddy, and he became an instant hit. Like literally, he became a hit, and I was really happy with how Marty turned out, and it's just been amazing. And then of course my puppetry grew, but I am kind of curious. What do you think the most challenging thing is in terms of puppetry?
Um, well, at first I didn't know how many voices I had in me. Until
Right?
I, until I started buying all these puppets. And some of my friends tease me because I call it a roster. So then they
Yeah.
go, and I was like, yeah, I'm buying all these puppets, and anybody who's watched my channel knows that they've seen puppets come and go, and it's like,
Hmm.
and I'm like, this one's not really feeling this. So I think the biggest challenge is that it was like I think like Jonathan Geffner. The question I asked him was, I notice sometimes my bottom lip may move, when I'm doing the ventriloquism part of the puppetry. Is
Hmm.
that part of the course sometimes? Are you always perfect? That's what I asked him. And he said, I'm definitely not perfect. No one is. Really, if you look closely, you'll see some lip movement sometimes, even in the best ventriloquists. The goal, and this is the part right here I like, is that it's good for puppetry, for Muppets puppetry, whatever you're doing, whether it's ventriloquism or not, is to keep it nearly perfect and then make sure the other elements, here you are, the other elements help with the illusion as well, such as animation, interactions with the puppet, having a strong personality and distinctive voice for the puppet, your relationship with the puppet, your acting and expressions, and your material.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, he just, in that little paragraph that he said in the white right here, I'm like, that that is a course. Those are several different courses. Like you could break down 2 3 weeks with just one. I mean, just alone with animation, right?
Yeah.
Animating your character.
Yep.
Like like I said earlier, right? When I said when I first started out, my character would be just dead in the water, right? You like, yeah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. And then the interactions, with the puppet, strong personality. I mean, that is stuff that it takes time,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, to nail
Oh
down.
yeah.
Distinctive voice, like that was the thing. Like I have the reason I decided to do it here in this room is because I have the puppets that I'm going to use the most here. Like for example, uh this, this is Dreamer. So Dreamer, um his personality is he desperately wants to be Vito. If you can see Vito back here,
Hmm.
Vito, he's large and in charge of his syndicate. You know what I mean? So he wants to be like Vito. So he's always like, "Hey man, what's up, dude? Come on, Vito. Come on, I can do this, dude. Come on." So he's like a young version of Vito, and he wants to so be in. He's like, give me a chance, right? So every time I use him, he's trying to be tough. Like I did a video, I think a couple nights ago, right? Use that new apparatus that's in front of you, and
Hmm.
it's hands free, but you can only see the head, right? And I took him outside, and he goes, I'm not very comfortable being out here. He's like, I'm not a street puppet. I'm not a street puppet. So, you know, so it's kind of like, okay. So I'm bringing vulnerabilities. I like to um, give each one of these characters I have, a vulnerability. Like this guy right here. Now, the story, oops, sorry about that. The story behind this guy, right? We call him DJ Drunk Ernie, right? It's like you've seen the videos of him where he's all like, I'll put him in. Here we go. How's it going? Oh, yeah. Wake up, wake up. Why are you waking me up, dude? So, so he's like, and I have him with the he's a open a freehand puppet, and I have him holding this. Looks like a little beer can. This is actually one of the stickers I put on the can that they sent me with one of the puppets I
Really?
bought on Etsy. So that's his drunk fan, fun. And I thought it was funny because I ordered him because I have another Ernie one that I have him wearing a gold chain. He looks great. But I was wondering, the mouth was a little soft because I bought him pre-handed. So I ordered another one I saw on eBay that was used as well. And when this poor guy came, I mean, they washed him like, and
Mm.
so everything in there is puckered lips and
Yeah.
faded this and that. So I had threw him on the couch. I was just gonna donate him to Salvation Army and take my L, right? Because it cost me like $30. But then I sat there and said, you know what? What if he was the twin brother of EJ? I call him EJ because Ernie Jr. Because I was like, Ernie and Bert could have had kids by now, right? So these are their, yeah. So,
Not
and
wrong.
just for my own character development, I'm not trying to, I'm not, this isn't Bert and Ernie, this is EJ, Ernie Jr. and Bert Jr. And that's how I do them on my shows. Like, so, and so this guy was the twin brother of EJ, but he's drunk all the time. And there's an episode on my Instagram where they're talking about that, and he's like, man, well, you're successful. Why are you so successful? He goes, well, I'm not trying to be successful. And he's like, hey, he goes, I'm not about Sesame Street. He goes, that was you. That was you. You're about Sesame Street. And he chose a different path of being lazy pretty much. And so character development, right? And so I could have just tossed and donated that, but I put an eye patch on him, as you saw, right? I
Mm.
um I put an eye patch on him and his headband just fell off. and I
Ah.
and I super glued a cigar in his mouth, you know, and and so this guy, he's had a different life, and
Oh
so
yeah.
that's the challenges that I've accepted, and is that okay? Personality, cool, stick with it. Um, Also by having Instagram, right, and Facebook because it mirrors there, people chime in,
Oh yeah.
right, and they let you know, oh, that's not working, or or oh, great idea, that was great. It's like, hey, what about, sometimes they'll message you, just DM
Yeah.
you, and they'll be like, hey man, what if you did such and such with that puppet art? Like, okay, you know
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so people kind of can help
Yeah.
your character because they stand behind it.
Yeah.
So I think the challenge now, like, I'm done with buying puppets. Everybody teases me, says you always say that, but I literally I really have the roster I need, because every time I buy a puppet, then I'm distracted to try and get a voice for it and a personality. So now I'm really
Yeah.
literally done. So now I'm locking in to what I have, but some of them I'm not even using. Like, I bought them because I thought they were cool. They were on sale. When I say on sale, somebody asked me today at work. He goes, do you buy them off the, like, they thought there was a store that I walked into and was buying puppets off the rack. You know what
Wouldn't
I
that
mean?
be something though?
Yeah. And I said, there was one store years ago in San
Yeah.
Francisco that they did have a puppet store, and it was at our San Francisco's Pier 39, really touristy area.
Mm.
And you could walk in there. I wasn't even in puppetry. I had no idea I was even gonna be in this. And but I remember walking in there and I was, oh wow, there's marionettes, and there was cool puppets. You could buy them, you know, there, off the rack. But
Yeah.
um I don't know if we maybe in your area, there's no store that I can walk into and be like, oh, it's a puppet store.
No, no, no. That's not the one I was thinking of. Not around here, but I know there was FAO Schwartz in New York. I know they had some as well. I don't think they're around anymore. But I know FAO Schwartz had like puppets you could buy at their store as well. They're not around anymore, but that's the only other one that comes to mind in terms of that. But that, yours sounds a lot more interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you. That sounds a lot more interesting.
The one I described.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wish it was around still, but um, being at a touristy spot and people are traveling, bringing a puppet home is probably not the easiest thing,
Nope.
because they're traveling, and especially marionettes and the strings.
Mm-mm.
That's a freaking disaster. I've tried a couple before, not currently, but in the past as a kid. Disaster. The
I can imagine.
flamingo and the the drunken. I remember I had a drunken one, little with the sombrero on his hat and stuff. You see, that was, man, when those strings get tied up. Oh my god, it's a puzzle. Um,
I can imagine. I've never done marionettes myself, but I can imagine that those are an absolute nightmare to
you
carry
cannot
around.
you cannot store them. As a matter of fact, somebody. Oh, so remember that episode where I had the little purple guy and he was your
Hmm.
kid? The kid was Marty's kid,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
so I had ordered a purple one. I thought was oh, that was it. So the purple one I got, it was advertised as a puppet, right? They said it was a single silly puppets, 14-inch. When I got it, dude, it was a marionette, and it was the strings. all wrapped up and tight. I couldn't even. Yeah,
No.
and so I reached back to the seller and I'm like, this is a marionette, and I said, I can't even pull the thing apart. It's stuck, so they refunded my money,
That's good at least.
and because I had to cut all that strings off. That it was a marionette version of a smaller Marty in purple. And,
That's
he said, and
wow.
I said you didn't know what you were selling, huh? I was like, you clearly got this from somewhere else and thought it
Yeah.
was. He goes, oh, my bad. So yeah, it was horrible. Like I couldn't even save that poor thing. I was oh well, let me see. But no, it was so messed up. It was so messed up.
No,
Um,
I know how small those 14-inch puppets are. I know our friend Jake, when he had his first version of Bean, uh his was also a silly puppets, but it was green. And I it, when you see his poster back here, this was at the Jim Henson exhibition back in 2023 when it was here in Baltimore. um, a couple of us in the puppetry community, like 7 or 8 of us, we met up in person for the first time. It was amazing, but we had all brought our puppets with us. So of course, I brought Morty. Alex brought our friend Alex Arrigo, who you folks might remember from a previous episode. Um, she had brought all her puppets, and Jake brought Bean, and a couple others brought theirs too. Bean was small. He got redone not that long ago, and it looks amazing. Oh my god! But the way it was weird how it was how he was able to move the hands and all. It was very weird. Like it's like, how are you supposed to do that exactly? Like, I figured out it was I think it was the thumb and the pinky. I think it's like,
yes, yes,
I'm like, yeah, no,
challenge, yeah, challenge,
no. It,
challenge.
it it was a challenge trying that on, but no. Again, Jake's new bean look is just amazing. He was built by a friend of ours named Troy L.R. Ross. He's up in Canada, and I gotta tell you that build looked amazing. Actually, Jake was actually here. You've probably seen Jake was actually here uh, not that long ago. He was here for a couple days, and he had shown me new Bean. I'm going to call it Bean 2.0. It is much easier now. Like it's a hand rod puppet
Okay.
now, and it's so much easier than the 14 inch. Just it was a challenge, but still fun nonetheless.
You know
Yeah,
what?
no, huge.
This when I was at Puppet Up,
Oh, nice.
and good O'Brien signed, the hot dogs.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, he mass signed it for anybody that paid the extra. I think it was an extra 75 or something. I forget to sit pre-show to talk to him.
Mhm.
And this was the prize. This was the gift to do that. And I remember when I was talking to him, I got the first you raise your hand and stuff, then he ended up finally at the last 5 minutes calling my name, pointing at me because you had to go like this, and then he had someone's like, oh yeah, over there, and I'm like, hey, I was wondering if you could sign my Happy Time Murder DVD Blu-ray, and I borrowed. He goes, yeah. He goes, I'll sign it right after this is over. So then, when I was talking to him, I was like, asking him, I was like, dude, it's in February. I was like, yo, I'm new at this. And who do you suggest? And he goes, you guys have SF Puppet Slam out here, I believe. And you have the Guild, you should join that, and stuff. I said, oh, I appreciate that, And so these were in the show. And, when we had to pick them up after the whole show was over, we went to go pick them up, outside. They're handing them to the people
It,
who paid the extra. And I was a little disappointed because in the show, I think how you described, they have the rod where the mouths move and
mhm.
talk. And then when I got like, oh, he doesn't do that. I was super excited. I was like, oh, I wish he had the rods where I can make him move his
Man.
mouth. Yeah. But nonetheless, it's still cool to have it.
Nah, that's awesome, man. I've always wanted to see Puppet Up, man. I've heard so much about it. I know they're by the time we're recording this, they're doing some shows at the Maltaban Theater again in LA, which is pretty awesome. I know they did some shows there earlier this year. Now they're doing some shows there again. I think that's amazing. I again, the disappointment is probably real. It's like, oh man.
I know. And then I think they have another element too that they do there that we didn't get out here. I think they have like something like a puppet that greets you or something like that. Like a big production like Sweetums that looks like Sweetums or something that is interaction. I think they got that. We didn't get that out here. Um,
Rude.
yeah, I just thought it was cool being a Puppet Up because they have 80 puppets that you can
Oh
see.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And then they're just going interchanging them out, as they need to, and that's kind of really cool to
Yeah.
be see live, and this screen is like as if you're on TV or you can just
I was,
watch them.
I was, I was about to say you actually get to see how they do it too. Like
Yeah.
you're not just seeing it on a big monitor. Like say the screen's back here, you actually get to see how they're doing it, which I find really cool. And there's a lot of great people in it too. I know Dan Garza's done it before. Grant Pachoco, I think, has done it in the past. I think, if memory
He
serves me
he
right.
was there. He was there for that one. I got
Ah,
to talk to him.
yeah,
Yeah, I got to talk to him.
love Grant Pachoco. Great guy. Um, a bunch of others have done it too. It's just amazing. It really is. Again, I've never seen it. I want to, but it's all the way on the West Coast, and it's like, uh,
I know, man.
come back,
I know.
come back to the East Coast, please. We're begging you, please.
But your
Um,
meetups are cool out there though. Like I wish we had more of that. I
it's
performed at the Puppet Slam. They brought me on stage, do a little bit up
oh
there
nice.
last Sunday. That was great. My first time being on stage with the puppet, lights blaring at you, people bought tickets to come and see that. And I was like, wow, this is crazy, this is awesome. But
I've never
the
done one of those, but I want to. I want to. That's one thing I've wanted to do. Like I've never done. I've done live streams, but I've never done um, shows on stage in front of, like actually on a stage in front of an audience. I've taken my puppets out in public. Like I was talking about Jake recently. We went to Vienna, Virginia, not that long ago, and we went to see our friend Jules of Jammin' with Jules perform live. And I think the puppets were a bigger hit than Jules was, truthfully, because I'm here real quick, Marty. Right on cue.
hey,
Hello.
Marty.
Hello. What's up? What's up? What's up? Marty here. Hi. He's built by Silly Puppets, for those of you who don't know. And you might think, oh, look, it's a Herbie look-alike. I get that a lot. I did get that a lot when we were
Did you
there.
say Herbie?
Yeah, from
Did you
Miss
say?
Rachel.
Huh, I'm not familiar with that.
Miss Rachel is a huge, huge, huge children's YouTuber. Um, Jules actually worked with Miss Rachel years ago. They've collaborated. Miss Rachel's collaborated with Sesame Street, and actually somehow got to have Gobo Fraggle on. It's like, what? How'd you get Gobo Fraggle on? That's insane. How? But
You're gonna have to send me a link offline about so I can check it out.
I'll send you both of those. The Gobo Fraggle one was so good. Oh my god, it was amazing. But both Marty and Herbie were both built by Silly Puppets. They look very much alike, and he gets confused all the time. You have a lot of merchandise for Miss Rachel and Herbie. People literally sent me pictures of the merch saying, "Look, it's Herbie." Oh god. Yeah, that happens more times than we think. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Marty looks really cool when you put that cool hat on him too. That page boy hat that you have for him. It's so
Oh,
good.
you want me to hold on? I can put that on real quick. This
There
one,
you go.
right?
Yes, that is great. See, that right there, personality.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I got this. Well, Matt gave it to me as an Easter gift. I think it was last year. And I loved it so much. Um, and I'm just like, you know what, this looks really good on me, and I decided to keep it. Well, fine by
you
me.
should. I think you need to rock it a lot more than you do
I
because
do. I do need to rock it a lot more. I do.
it changes
Eh.
right when you put it on. Right when you put it on, the look changed. Like for
Oh
like a
yeah.
really cool look. Like,
Oh,
um,
I love this.
yeah.
I love this look a lot. Anyway, I'll let you get back to it. I'll be back a little later. I go ahead. There, there we go. Just gone, just
Right,
like
see
that.
that? Mari just took the whole show right there. He just still
He
show
does.
stealer.
He does that a lot. Um, what do you think is the biggest misconception in terms of puppetry? I have one. I want to know yours. The biggest misconception in terms of puppetry.
Well, first I like to before I answer that, Jake put a call out for a question on Instagram the other day, and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm not really comfortable going out in public to do puppetry, because I feel like he felt like he'd be subconscious about it, right? And he wants to know,
Understandably so. Yes,
right,
that's a valid fear. That's a very valid fear,
right."
and
So he
don't
says,
I do not blame him one bit for it.
so he asked, right? He's like, "So, what do you guys feel about it, right?" And then, I think I forgot what I said. Nothing. It was probably something real small, but because I would want to like, it's too long to type, too long to write it in the text.
Spark
So,
notes.
but to me, with the conception, I'm gonna combine these two with the question you had. Is one of the conceptions that with puppetry is some people say, "Oh, is it just for kids?" Right?
That's mine.
And then
That's
that's
mine.
one,
That's
and
mine. The biggest
especially
misconception I have in terms of puppetry is that it is solely for kids. Now, look, there are a lot of great, phenomenal shows and specials that are for kids. Case in point, Wowzabout. I loved Wowzabout for PBS Kids. It was such a phenomenal special. It really was. Just aired like a couple months ago. It was fantastic. Um, but I think when they see a puppet, think, oh, it's for kids. You don't think about like Avenue Q and what you mentioned earlier, Happy Time Murders. Those are for adults. I think because so many people uh, relate Sesame Street with puppets. That's how I feel anyway. I think there's that common misconception like, oh, everything puppet related needs to be for kids. And that's not entirely true. Look, kids love puppets. Case in point, as I was mentioning earlier, Jules. We went to see Jules. A lot of kids and their parents came up to Jake and I, and they were talking with Marty and Bean, and it was wonderful. I don't get the chance to take my puppets out in public that often, and I don't mind. I don't mind it. I see why it's a valid fear because it's like, you're being perceived, but that's everything these days. It's your appearance, it's your personality, not necessarily the puppets, but yours too. It's like everybody's being judged for something these days. As
and
sad as it is, that's just the honest truth. And I think that's the biggest misconception for me is that puppetry is solely for kids. Now, what was your other one?
so yeah, I was gonna say I found out by trial and error, not even error. It was just doing it. I went out to the De Young Museum in San Francisco, and they were having a lowrider show, right? So I brought Vito out, if you can see him right
Yep.
here,
Mm-hmm.
and the Latin community. and everybody else fell in love with Vito. And it was like, oh my God, can you go by my car too? Can you have pictures by my car? Can I take pictures with them? Right? It was all grown people. And then, and then their videographers were videotaping him and stuff like that. And they're like, who Vito, man? This guy's cool. And I had him in the audience with me when we watched the movies and the documentary they're talking about. And he got snapshot. I didn't even know I had him on my lap. It was a full 225 seats they had. They were all full, so I had to hold him. And he's in there, had that picture, and people were like, so the misconception, I think it's kind of broken because people do know of the Muppets and Puppet Up, SF Puppet Slam that I was there. That was all adults. I was all adults in there with doing puppetry, and after the show was over, it was Pride weekend, right? So I was out when I left in that particular part of the town, people were flooding back there. And I felt a little subconscious, right? Like he would, because I had the puppet, because I had one in my backpack, and I had to go find an Uber because I saw I came in an Uber, and then I said, "Man, I'm walking down here with a puppet. This is crazy." And people were like, and it was this guy too. It was this guy. It was this dude, right? And it was like, and somebody said, a lady came up to me. She says, oh, "Can you activate him?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I put him on.
That may be one of the oddest ways of putting that I've ever heard. Can you activate him? Hey, listen.
That's what she said. Can you activate him? And she was, "Oh my God, that's so cool. Can I take a picture with him?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then when I prop him out at work, sometimes I realize that that's another thing. People actually they come up to me and they talk to him. The kids talk to him. Adults like
Yep.
it. So I think the world has changed now, like
Oh yeah.
because and what's really interesting is that Sesame Street, now that it's on Netflix, Netflix
Yep.
is supposedly coming out with a movie, or I think, or something like that.
I've heard about that. I'll believe it when I see it because
Yeah,
only because there's been these things about a Sesame Street movie for so many years. I think like maybe the last, I don't know, at least 10 years at least. I don't know how far back. I don't remember how far back it goes, but it's like yeah, I'll believe when I see it.
I recently
Um,
just saw it pop up. That they said the characters that were going to be in it and stuff. I think it's really about to come to fruition. Um, Now that Netflix actually has purchased, or carrying it PBS, on there.
the
So I think,
distributing rights for
yeah,
Sesame.
yeah. So I guess they're really going for it now. It makes sense, right? They
I guess.
they're just like, who knows if it's going to be adult themed or what, but. Um, but yeah, so to answer for Jake, yes, Jake, if you watch this at all, go outside with your puppet. As a matter of
Do
fact, that's why I bought um this thing right here. Remember I told you about it? So
Oh yeah, yeah.
this is magnetic. This goes around my neck here, and this goes here. This is a prop phone. I put it out just it's not a real phone. So
Right.
it's a prop phone I buy when I do the puppet thing. It fits right here. So it sits like this.
Oh man, that's
You can
cool.
turn it like this. That's how if you watched when I had the two videos I did the 2 nights in a row, this is what I
Yep.
had.
Hmm.
Um it it bends so you can bend it like this or out so your hands free, but it's close so it just really locks your face so you can only get a head in. You can't really, you know, get an arm in there with the puppet. But
Thank goodness for that.
it's still cool that you can still be outside with it and people can see, behind you they can see buildings, streets. And so this if you do especially if you do it this way, right? This is the wide view, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you get more. So I still have to practice with it and see what works with angles, but
Right.
it's really cool, that at least.
That is really cool. I've never seen something like that before. That's wow.
Yeah, this
That's
was an Amazon purchase. Anybody
really
watching this? Yeah, you just snap this on the chest plate here. It's a hands-free um thing. Actually, if anybody's interested, I think the price was really right.
hmm.
Let me just it'll be real easy because it will be in my Amazon orders because I just got it in the mail. So
Yeah.
um
Makes it easier.
so I was like, and it was kind of cool when I stepped outside, when I did a night take and I did a day take, and you know, and I'm out there. dude, I'm out there,
Yeah.
and so many people are walking around outside like this anyway that
Yeah.
they are not even caring that I'm out there with a puppet or knowing that I'm out there with a puppet because so many people are walking down the street glued to their phones out here.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
um, so I think that piece that we just saw, I think that's a great way to, you know, do some content as well outside.
Absolutely. I'll definitely have to see, maybe I can get one at some point. That sounds really, really cool. It looks cool too. I love it. So, not a paid advertisement, by the way. Let's make that
No,
very
it's not,
clear.
guy. It's just
Not a
a
paid advertisement. Not a
no.
paid advertisement. Just he's just showing off the new tool. I guess it's really cool.
That's
Uh,
it because we need as much, suggestions and affordability as possible for rigs like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
easy.
yeah. That's amazing, man.
And even if you weren't using it for puppetry, if you were just out having, out at the park or something, and someone calls you and you just want to be still eating your little picnic basket or your hamburger, you
right,
right? You can
right.
still you could be talking or actually doing like a FaceTime with people or whatever,
Yeah,
or yeah, you could be hands free because that's the cool part. It is a freaking hands free device.
yeah, yeah. No, no, definitely have to check that out. Maybe I might get one maybe down the line or something. That's amazing. Um, who is your dream collaborator? Like, if you were able to collaborate with like a Muppet performer or a Muppet, actually, we could separate the two. Who would be your dream collaborator and why?
Well, since I've been talking to Jonathan Geffner for ventriloquism stuff, and Wally and Waldo, I like to meet those guys too because that's separate. It's different. It's a
Yep.
different thing because they're mostly talking this way with the puppets and react, and that's still a form of it's still in the artistry of that, but it's different now for working with Muppets and puppets. We're not in the scene. We're behind the scenes working together.
Right.
Let's see. Well, obviously, it'd be fun to work with you because I love
Aw.
Marty the Mark, so that would be fun. I would hope one day I can meet up with you guys and we all can
Hopefully,
get
man, that would
together
be awesome.
and the Queen, Alex the Queen, right? Is that saying that
Uh,
right?
yep. Alex
Yeah,
Queen
yeah.
Fluffy. You like she's referred to as sometimes. Yeah.
She's really good too. Like I've noticed sometimes with just when I was on the show or just watching the show, you know, the she makes that puppet alive.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like it's there, and it's times like that puppet's really never dead. And sometimes when you would freeze up and be gone, and she had to hold the show, that puppet was hosting the freaking show like really well, you know. And I
Hey,
was like,
I
uh,
was
uh,
glad. I was glad somebody did.
yeah. And you know who else is really good too is Quacker.
Oh, Quackers, our friend Liam.
Yeah, he's really good
Yeah.
with his puppets,
Oh,
man.
he's
Like,
our friend Liam has a puppet troupe called the Quacketeers. They've been around for quite a number of years as well. He was not one of the first, but I came across him. I gotta think. Maybe it was 5 years ago. Maybe he is amazing at improv. Let me tell you, he's amazing at improv. So good.
you see,
He's
my
he's he's hilarious.
I like him a lot. My dream team is not necessarily big time people. It's like the people who I actually see do a good job. That's what you'd want to work with. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
the people I just mentioned. Like I
yeah.
think it would be fun to work with those two. But if I had to pick, let's see here. Too bad I can't go back in time with Richard Hunt. That would
Oh,
be
I know,
amazing.
man. I
Like,
know.
yeah, because and definitely um who did Oscar again?
Carol Spinney, the late great
Yeah,
Carol
Spinny.
Spinney.
Yeah, those guys,
Um,
they passed, man. Obviously Frank
yeah,
Oz would be cool. Um, current Lurkin puppets, I love them watching them. They seem really, really cool at what they do, and I saw how what they're doing lately. They got billboards in malls now and stuff, doing
yeah, I
Switzerland and
love that.
stuff.
I
Like,
love
yeah,
that for them. I
yeah.
love that for them. I'm super happy for them. Yeah, I think that's a really smart way to approach it. I mean, it would be awesome being in the same room as people like, let's say, Donna Kimball, for example. But yeah, I think, I mean, like I said, I've met some of these people in person. A couple of them I haven't met yet, but I want to. One of them is Brandon Smith. Let me tell you all about Brandon. Brandon's actually been a puppeteer at Sesame Street. I think this season that just aired, I think his fourth season, I think fourth or fifth season at Sesame. I think he does more background stuff though, but um, his improv is hilarious. His singing, man, his singing is incredible. I'm gonna talk about my show. Those who don't know, I do a live stream show called Bingel Live. We did the show for a few years on Instagram. We do it on YouTube now, but we sang a lot of songs on the show. And I think doing a live stream show, a live stream puppet show, is great. It's not for everybody, let me tell you. But it's great for us because we get to bounce off of our characters, but also it allows us to, be creative, on the spot. And a lot of times we would sing songs on the show. We don't do songs much anymore, mostly because we want to move on to other things. But we do songs once in a while. Brandon's singing is so good, man. It is amazing. I'll have to send you a clip from one of my old streams at some point, probably the next few days or so. His singing is so good. It's like, wow, that's incredible. It really is. He's one of my favorite puppeteers that's ever been on the show, and I'm super super proud of him for what he's doing now. It's incredible. It really is. That's somebody. Um, I've met Alex a couple times. Again, you probably saw I met her in person in New York not that long ago, seeing Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock Live at the New Victory Theater in New York City, and it was amazing. The fun part is we surprised Jake, and he had no idea.
Oh.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Alex and I had come up with that 2 days prior, and it was so hard keeping a secret because, like I said, Jake was actually here at our house, and it was so hard to keep it a secret. But the problem was it's New York traffic, but it was also Juneteenth when we went, so that is so we missed like half the show. Like,
oh man.
but we made it. We made it like just before intermission, and she was like maybe 2 or 3 rows in front. She was front row. We were like a couple rows back. And when he saw Alex, like, oh my god, what? He couldn't believe it. It's like, wait, what? And it was amazing. The show was amazing. If you haven't seen Fraggle Rock Back to Rock Live, I think it's going back on tour in the fall, which is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was really awesome. Liam, I'd love to meet. There are a lot of people in the puppetry world that I would love to meet, both professional and in our puppetry community. I mean, there are a lot. Mainly a lot in the UK.
Yeah.
I have been so surprised with how many amazing puppeteers there are in the UK. Case in point, Lee Thompson, amazing guy. Patsy May. I love Patsy May. Been a fan of hers for years.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Dad.
Oh man.
You did that last time. Billy Ray Cyrus is not in the UK. Let's get that straight.
One thing about the UK is that it makes sense that there'd be a lot because Jim Henson had shot so much there.
Yeah. They've got a whole puppet guild, the British Puppet Guild out there in the UK, and it's amazing how many talented puppeteers there are in the UK. It truly is incredible. And actually, one of the puppets, this Lee Thompson does giveaway, sometimes giving away puppets, and I had actually won one. That being this guy right here.
There he is. I love it, the professor.
G'day, mate. How you doing?
That's so awesome.
This
It's
is this is Professor Brandon. G'day, mate. How you doing?
Professor
He
B.
he's built, shameless plug, by a company called Puppet. That's Pubbets. I had won him in a giveaway, um, almost exactly 3 years ago. Um, I gave him the Australian accent because it's like, you know what? I've never had a puppet with an accent before. And I just think it would be a lot of fun. For me, it would be a fun little challenge to do an Australian accent. And hence you got me. Um,
Hey.
yeah, yeah. Get out of shot real quick here. I'm gonna have to lie for a minute, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Professor Brandon. Nice to meet all of you. This is the podcast, huh? Very nice. Again, as Mr. Bingel said here, um, I feel so bad for your last name. I kid you not, folks. Or, as he said, I'm originally from Australia, and I kid you not, a Bingle means car crash where I
Oh.
come from in Australia. I kid you not.
Oh my God.
That's don't go to Australia anytime soon. No, I don't plan on doing so. No, but he's got kind of a stiff. No offense, none taken, not yet. Stiff mouth there. The mouth plate there. Again, built by Puppets. Pubbets. Great company for puppets like this,
They are.
and I know you've got a couple puppets as well
Yes. Yeah, I
in
got the one that looks
in
like
your
me.
roster.
Yeah, I've got one that kind of looks like me now. Um,
Oh yeah, right.
and what's the other one? Wally that had the glasses like you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
this guy
Yep,
right here.
yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yes, that looks so cool. I love that.
Yay.
Don't you wish you had red hair? No, I was born a blonde.
Oh,
Really? Yeah, I had blonde hair for a long time. Now it's a dirty blonde. Uh,
I
well,
swear,
I
if I
like
see a
it.
Professor Brandon puppet, I will pick it up. Like um,
Oh, you should.
this this guy over here,
Mm-hmm.
he showed up.
Yep.
He
Yep.
showed up on eBay, and I snatched that fool up quick. For anybody else
As
could, because I
as
know
you
they don't
should.
make that one anymore either.
Uh, I was born and raised in Australia, as Matt said here, and I probably get the question a lot, Professor. You moved from Australia to the UK to America. What do you miss most about your homeland of Australia? And the one thing that I miss so much is going to the beach at Christmas. I loved going to the beach Christmas Day. It was wonderful. Christmas in Australia is something else. It's warm, it's great, it's humid, but it's fun. You know,
Hey.
and our place had a pool, so we really didn't need to go to the beach, but we did anyway because it's like, you know what, it's Christmas Day. Why not just get a little picnic and we head on out to the beach. And I always watch the Carols in the Domains every year. Man, I'm forgetting what network did it. I think it was the Nine Network in Australia did it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, it's been years. Every year they would do this Christmas show, this big Christmas show. Thousands of people would come out to watch it every year, called the Carols in the Domains. And the one thing as a kid I always looked forward to, and I'm sure most people did, was the Wiggles appearing on there. They appeared every year, if memory serves me right, from 1993 to 2012. 20 years straight. They're still there most years now, but it's like it don't hit the same now, truthfully. But
Oh,
that's another story. But yeah, I really miss my homeland. I don't feel homesick about it. I miss it, and I'm not gonna lie. I like Christmas here although it gets really cold, and it's like this is not how weather should be. It should be warm and
Yes.
beautiful for Christmas. Nah, we get cold, but sometimes we get snow. We had a big snowstorm in January, and it was really really nice. It was beautiful. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit about me. Again, I'm from Puppets, Pubbets. Thank you for coming to my TikTok. Back to you, Mr. Bingo. Thank you.
That was a great TED Talk, actually.
He just wanted to use that line. So, yep. I don't use him as often because it's a little more stiff, but he is so much fun to perform because again it's that fun challenge of having a puppet with an international accent, which I think it's a fun challenge. I think people should have at least one puppet that has an international accent. It would be like Canadian or French or Italian or Australian or British. Although every time I try to do a British accent, it turns Australian. Why? I don't know. But oh well, whatever. Um, you're always on social media a lot with your puppets. Um, how do you balance being authentic to your art while navigating the demands of social media?
Demands of social media. Basically, I just like in the mornings, I do. I have a one of my puppets is wishing people a good day, right? So I'm like, hey guys, go out there and have a great day. And if you're going to work, make the best of that day. Don't let any coworkers or anybody get on your nerves. Be your true self. Or if it's just like in the evening time, it's like, hey guys, I hope you had a great day, at work or at play, or maybe you're gonna go see your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever. And it's like, eat good food. Or sometimes I do the doctor skits where the doctor says, "Oh, for your health, I need you to stay away from non-toxic people." Blah blah blah. So I listen to like the news that's going on, and then I just try to uplift people with
Yeah.
it, or I do funny skits with them. Like I'll just make something up, like with Vito and stuff. So I just what one thing they told me to do, what Instagram has said when I first got into it, it says look up what other people are doing with what you do. You just go into search and type in, puppets, and you'll see who the top people are, what they're doing, and do what they're not doing. So,
Do what they're not doing.
yeah,
I like
do what they're
that.
not doing, so you'll get a following, so you're not a copycat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because
So
I think that's a big misconception when getting into puppetry. I think the thing that people always think about is like, oh, I want mine to be like the Muppets. I want it to be like Sesame Street. And I've heard interviews of other puppeteers be like, just do your own thing, just do your own stuff. Sesame Street's its thing. The Muppet Show's its own thing. Although I want to give a shout out real quick. Congratulations to the Muppet Show on its 6 Emmy nominations. Congrats.
ooh,
6 Emmy nominations. That's fantastic. And
that's
the Matt
deep.
Vogel too. And the Matt Vogel too. He's also nominated for an Emmy. I'm mad it's voiceover though. Can I just say that? I am mad at his voiceover. Voiceover and puppetry are two different things. Thank you very much.
I didn't even
I
know he was doing that. Wow.
Yeah. He's nominated for voiceover. It's puppetry. Get it right. Thanks. No,
They call it
that too.
voiceover.
No, I think a big misconception in puppetry when starting out, you can be inspired by Sesame Street. You can be inspired by the Muppets, absolutely. But people are going to notice if you're a copycat, and it's like just do your own thing. Like I've got mine, you got yours. We've all got our own. When we do live streams and stuff. Like I'm gonna go back to Liam and the Quackacheers for a sec. The improv is just amazing. It's very slapstick at times. Like he'll always have this running gag. He has these props and they're amazing. Like I forget what the words are exactly, but it's like one time it was like, here, catch. It's like no, it's not. No, I'm not catching it. Catch it anyway. It's like it's nothing bad. Turns out to be a stick of dynamite.
Oh,
Not an actual stick of dynamite. But then the camera turns off. He plays the sound effect, kaboom, and I don't know how he does it, but it's like you see the puppet all like covered in ashes and so it's
that's
amazing how he
amazing.
does it. It's amazing how he does it, man. But that's the original. That's kind of the original thing. It's like just doing your own thing, you know, and developing characters. I think I'm sure people are probably going to ask, you know, what do you do first? Do you develop a character first or you develop a voice? I think you develop a character first. I think. Because you could see, Marty, come back for a moment, please. If my feet didn't get stuck.
How you doing, Dyson? Okay, how are you? I'm great.
Get your hat back on. Thank you.
There you go.
Look at me in my hat. With Marty here. Hi again. Um, he's a lot like me. He's wanted to enter. He loves entertaining people, and he loves putting a smile on people's faces. Yes, I do. And he's a little vulnerable too, like me.
Aw.
A little is an understatement. No, um, there's this misconception about monsters. You know, you see. For a sec. You see these monsters in movies, and they're all like, ah, ah, ah,
Yes.
going through like Godzilla, for example, and King Kong, you makes all monsters look scary, and of course you see the monsters under your bed that aren't even a thing, and it's like we're not all that bad. Like that's a big misconception with us monsters. It's just I'm sorry, I gotta do that again. That's fun.
I like
That's
it.
that's that's fun.
That's really fun, right? Did you like that?
I I should do that more often.
You
So
should. You should.
yeah,
Misconceptions.
it's a common misconception for us monsters, but I'm the opposite of that. Our fur is very soft and it's very comforting for hugs. A lot of us monsters were big huggers. We love to hug
Yes. Hugs are great.
with with consent, of course.
Yes, with
With
consent, right?
always gonna ask for consent to hug. But yeah, that's a big misconception in terms of us monsters. But I'm kind of vulnerable. I do these fun we do these fun live streams, but sometimes we get a little serious. And but that's the nature of it too. Because it's tough in the world these days. We try to put a smile on people's faces, and I say we do a pretty good job of it.
Yes.
I think it's wonderful what we're doing. Really, really do. Um, can I ask the next question for Scorpio? Yeah. Um, where do you're fairly new. You said you were doing this 9 months. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
On the Syndicate television show. Hopefully.
Oh,
Yeah. I just feel like, I could go do a lot with it because you can help, people um in all different types of situations. It could be therapy for people. You could go to hospitals, you know.
oh
Um,
yeah.
I just see like a lot of variety of you can even do some fun parties for people, adult parties, like that's not geared for kids and stuff like that, And I feel that you could just help people just in general and doing some fun collabs. Like I'm doing some stuff with Chunky Monkey Studios. They just hit me back up to do another collab with two
Oh,
characters and stuff.
nice. That's cool.
So that was a couple days ago, and I was like, yeah, man, let's do it, let's do it. And they're out of UK,
Nice.
you know.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
another great friend in the UK.
yeah. See, and yeah, and I just feel that it's important to. He feels that it's important to make sure that you're there for your friends and stuff. And I don't know. I think he even thinks some things are, in the church circuit's okay too.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be all around, right? Right? Okay.
Nothing wrong. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
There's nothing.
Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with being all around. Nothing wrong with it. Yep. It'll 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 enhance your skills too. I think and that's the fun thing about live streams too. Not a lot of us do live streams anymore just because everybody's so busy now. We were all at home like 5 years ago. Quite a few of us were doing live streams, but now everybody's people got their own things now. They've got other projects they're doing. They just don't have time for it anymore, and that's fine. But I think
One.
puppet live streams are a great way to go too. Not only will it get your name out there, but it will also allow you to enhance your skills as well, especially in terms of improv, because all that is live. All that is live. Um,
I
you
was
get to be
thinking about that.
yeah, you get to be creative, and you get to bring uh, how we do it is there's been a rule in our community. About this. There's been a rule in our community for a number of years. It dates back about 5 years or so. It's the friends before fans rule. It's basically just a trust thing. Because you get a lot of crazy people on live streams and whatnot. You don't know what to expect. it's
Right?
it's not it's not gatekeeping, but it's more building trust and being able to play, because that's essentially what puppetry is. I feel weird talking about puppetry, but it's okay. It's fine. But
It's okay. You're doing a great job.
no, well, I
Your
try.
wisdom.
I try.
I
But
was gonna ask you about that too. The live stream.
yeah, you can
'Cause I
continue.
wanted to do it. I said, should I do it? Should I try it? You
I think
know?
you should. I think you should absolutely try it. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I would absolutely try it. You never know. Um. And the fun thing being on YouTube Live is fun. I like it. It's allowed us to have more friends on, and we get to do more. But there's something special about Instagram live streams. And one example I want to bring up is our birthday bash this past year. Um, or a couple months ago. I do a fun birthday live stream for myself every year because, hey, why not? It's always fun for these people to celebrate the birthday of one of their own. You know, we've done this for 6 years now. And this year we had brought on some friends. Literally a half hour in, not even a half hour in, Dan Garza shows up. Unexpected, unannounced. Those of you who don't know, Dan Garza is the puppeteer of Junior Gorg on Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock. Or I guess I should say the Emmy Award winning Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock. Yes. An amazing guy, by the way. Very talented. We've mentioned him a time or two on this show. Seem to be mentioning a lot of the same people. I know they're great people, though. It's fine. It's fine.
Right?
And I wasn't expecting. I was just expecting him, to just be in the chat for a second, then poof, gone. No, he requested to join the live stream. He was actually in LA at the Montalban Theater when he joined. He was only on for like 90 seconds. And mind you, this was the night of my birthday. And I was, as soon as I saw the request, I'm like, there ain't no way in hell that this is happening. Because we've had puppeteers of that stature join the live chat in the past. Like we've had, oh god, I was just talking about this with Alex the other night. Andy Hayward, puppeteer of Jan Dylan on Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. This isn't just us. This is just in general. Bradley Freeman Jr., Tamir and West on Sesame Street, and The Pigeon on The Pigeon Explains. Great. That's a phenomenal series, too, The Pigeon Explains, based on the books by Mo Williams. Fantastic. God, who else? Leslie Karev Rudolph. Oh, yeah, that was last year when she unexpectedly appeared in the chat for our 5th anniversary show. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Abby, two-time Emmy winner of Abby Cadabby. Can't believe it's been 20 years since Abby Cadabby's been on Sesame Street. Can I just say that? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can say
yes. I mean, you just did exactly. So I'm trying to think of who else. Sebastiano Ricci. Oh yeah, Sebastiano Ricci's a good dude. Mm-hmm. Couple others, maybe. I don't know. Those are the ones that come to mind. But it's like, it's always cool. We don't expect it to happen, but when it does, it's like, man, this is cool.
It's puppet gold.
It is. It's puppet gold, and it's like you don't expect it to happen because for some weird reason these puppeteers have been following Matt for the last couple of years, like Donna Kimball and Andy Hayward and Dan and all. They've been following it for a few years now. And it's really just amazing, you know. It's really cool because it's like, wait, these people are following us. I'll give you an example. Donna Kimball. I know. We've been mentioning Donna Kimball a lot on the show. I know. But there was this post. There's right there. Thank you, post. There was a post that Donna made in January 2022. It was just after Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock Season 1 came out. And it was really cool because it had these pieces of tape where the main Fraggles puppeteers could stand because they all did it standing up, which I thought was really cool. And Matt thought that was really cool too, you know, because they were different colored tape.
Oh.
I thought it was really cool. I'll send you that post. And it was very cool. And, you know, Matt was like, man, that's really cool. It's also really smart that way, too. Next morning, she started following Matt. Mind you, she's the current puppeteer of Moki Fraggle, people. And I remember Matt making up, was like, wait, what just happened? Did Donna Kimball, the current puppeteer of Moki Fraggle, just follow me last night? Like,
hey.
Because it doesn't feel real. And that's the interesting thing about social media too. You know, you don't expect it to happen, and most times it doesn't. But it's like when it does, and if it does, it's just like, wait, what is happening?
Yep. And a lot of times you don't know who's following you too. I mean, who's watching your content, you know, and they pop out.
Yeah,
Hey, I've been watching it. And you're like, oh my god, really? You want to collab? Okay, you know.
I think about John Tartaglia. You know, we love John Tartaglia. He's one of the most talented people ever. And there was one interview he did years ago where he said he had written a letter. I'm gonna date this. This was probably he was 8 years old, so it was probably 1986, maybe. He had written a letter to Jim Henson, and you know, he just, you know, and you know, every 8-year-old kid was like, you know, maybe, you know, hadn't heard anything back. He's like, you know, maybe got lost in the mail or something, you know. As he was writing another letter to send out, you know, he got a package in the mail from Henson Associates and all that. It was amazing. He came so close to actually meeting Jim Henson in like 1989. There was a thing for the old Mickey Mouse Club, right? Yeah, the one from the late 80s, early 90s. And they had some sort of week. I can't remember what it was. But they had this thing. And, you know, you had to, like, write, you had to answer, like, 20 questions, you know, stuff like that. It was him and another person. The other person got it. But thankfully they're friends now. but like, man, it's so close. But and now look at him. Now he's living out his dream. He's puppeteering Gobo Fraggle, for God's
See?
sake. He's
I
living out the dream. He's an Emmy winner. It's amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I wanted to share that because it's like, write letters. Write
right.
letters. Write letters. Send emails. Send messages. But most importantly, just do your own thing.
That's right.
Just
You gotta
do
do
just
something.
do your own thing. Um, do you have any questions for Matt here? I'm curious to know if you got any questions for him. You can come back. Yes.
Let's see here. Do I have any questions? Yeah, I was just kind of wondering if you just trying to wonder, um, yeah, how do you like his journey so far? And do you have any ideas and suggestions for him?
I think your journey's
Oh, thanks.
incredible. I All right, Tim the Talk, you've spoken long enough. No, I think
That was
I
great.
think your journey's incredible, man. The fact the thing that surprises me, you've only been doing this for 9 months, and it is just amazing what you're doing. You know, the creativity and the spark that you have are just amazing. Ideas, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that sometime tomorrow.
There we go.
But I think what you're doing is amazing. You know, your improv is really, really good. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man. I love what you're doing, and I'm extremely, again, I'm shocked that you've only been doing this for 9 months. It feels like, given how you're doing things and your creativity and your improv and all that, it feels like you've been doing this at least 4 or 5 years, if
Oh
not
wow.
longer. The fact
Did,
you've been only been doing this for 9 months really surprises me in a good way. And I really think you're going places, man. I genuinely do. I think it's just amazing. You know, you're coming up with your own ideas, and they're amazing. You know, your improv is great. You know, which is quite important if you do want to do like collaborations with like other people, and they are like live streams and whatnot. You know, you really got to be creative, not just with improv, but also, again, going back to character development. You know, we've done family friendly stuff. We collaborated last year with a wonderful channel called RT Show. Oh, RT Show, they're great. RT Show is a puppet channel, but it's also a drawing channel too. Like, they have puppets, but they also draw as well. It's for little ones, but they had this thing called, I don't know if they still do it. I know they rotated. It's called Felt Time. I've done it. The Quacketeers have done it. Couple others have done it. I think Jake's done one too. Couple of us in the community have done one, and it is so much fun doing that, because it's fun. Also, kind of getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, because you know we're a little more for the adult audience, not like raunchy or anything. 95% of the time, no.
95%. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Some stuff people have said on our live streams over the years. You know. Oh well. Oh well. Um,
Only fans for Felts. Not kidding.
Felt fans?
No, can you imagine if it was for OnlyFans, if to be puppets only for OnlyFans felt it, the felted edition or something?
Let
That'd
me
be so
tell
good.
you, Lucy the Slut from Avenue Q would be the most popular puppet on that website. Let me tell
Oh,
you.
Lucy,
And I,
huh?
and I guarantee you, Trekkie would be giving her all that money. You know? I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Um,
Guaranteed.
no, yeah, you can get in for a moment. Yeah, no. You're you're improv and just the creative spark you have is just amazing. It really is. I really appreciate your love of puppetry and just your passion for it. You know, that's what gets me. You know, your love, your spark for it. You know, your creativity is just amazing, and I really do think you're going places, man. I genuinely do, and you know, I'm really proud of you, man. Again, I'm shocked in a good way. You've only been doing this 9 months, but it truly is amazing, man. I can't tell you that enough. It's amazing.
I get excited, man. Like it's we could tell something's for you, you know. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
you love it, you look
Yep.
forward to it. When I come home, it's like these you see friends almost. It sounds kind of like crazy. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like have you heard of Roxy and the Felts? You have. You
Yep.
used to subscribe to her.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So which she's amazing at how I didn't know this. I don't know if you know it, but so all her puppets of the 5 or 6 that she uses, they're all an extension of her. Like she says
Yep.
that is how she's feeling. This puppet represents her true feelings. So all her content
And
is
that's
how
that's
she's really feeling, you know?
that's that's what I was saying earlier, especially with Marty. You know, Marty's quite a lot like me in a sense. You know, same thing with Professor too. Really, just it's for me with the Professor. It's curiosity of the world around him. I was going to I put it on the shelf for now, but I was going to develop this show in late 2023 called Professor Brandon's Travelogue, and how it would be it'd be like not traveling the world because we don't have that kind of budget yet, but it would be just kind of exploring the world, you know, because it's a big world, you know, and I thought that'd be a fun idea. Maybe once I save a little more money, I think I might hopefully put that into production. Maybe sometime next year. Maybe I don't know. But with Marty especially, he is a lot like me. He's lovable, and he's very outgoing, and he's just really fun to be around. And a lot of people absolutely love Marty. Ah, shucks.
Marty, we love you.
Ah, thanks. I love me too. No.
Ah, great. You know, I love that
Ah,
part. I love that
ah.
part about you and other puppeteers who have 1 or 2 main puppets and you guys just, you know, just thrive on them. You know what I mean? Like you've
Yep.
developed their character, personality, and all that.
Again,
And
again, if you ask which one I prefer to go with first, character development or voice, I definitely go character development first, and then develop a voice once you get like a character. Um, if you really want to do puppetry, I'd say go for it. It's not for everybody, especially if you're working in like like if you get like a monitor. I have a monitor. Get a monitor first of all. But if you're like on the ground and like you won't see it from this end, but you know, I'm literally holding Marty up. It's very physical. No, we're not referencing the Olivia Newton-John song. Thank you very much. No, no, no. But yeah, it's it and the arm wrap part of it too takes a little bit of practice too. I
sure
did
does.
I did just one arm rod for like the first 6 months, and then I graduated to dual arm rods. These are the other way around, but I usually have these the other way, but it's fine. Um, I'm still here, by the way. But it definitely takes a lot of practice, and what I recommend to any new puppeteers, or if you want to get into puppetry, watch like Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, the Muppets. Study how they do it. Watch behind the scenes stuff. Like there's a great behind the scenes special that came out in like 1987 with Fraggle Rock. That'll be really helpful. and just look up tutorials on YouTube. Now, I have not made my own puppets. Again, this puppet, shameless plug, is a Silly Puppets puppet.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. Not a paid advertisement. But this is a Silly Puppets puppet. You could even build your own, like, make your own, like, sock puppets just to start out. You know?
Yeah, you could.
Um, you really could. And then if you want to build your own puppets, do so. Or if you want to save up some money and get a builder, there are a lot of great ones out there. Like, one in particular is Uzzy Works. I highly recommend Uzzy Works. They do fantastic work. And there are a lot of great. This community is a fantastic community of talented people who are more than willing to help you along your journey. You know, it's a lot of great people, myself and Skorpio included. And I know we had our buddy Frankie on a recent episode. We had our friend Alex on a recent episode. Find us. We'll help you.
Yeah.
We'll absolutely help you along with your journey. Like, if you need like a tip or anything like that, just reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to help.
Dyson, how do you feel about Marty and Matt's advice? Oh yeah? Okay. Yeah. That, that's one of the hardest things to do, guys, is puppet is learning how to clap.
Puppeteering how to clap is quite difficult. That takes a lot of practice too. But yeah. Scorpio, thank you. This was a ton of fun having you on. If you'd like to check him out, check him out on Instagram at Scorpio Loves Smith. Right?
Yes, thank you. I love being on the show. It was such an honor to be here. I knew it'd be fun. I just knew it'd be great. I was like, it's too much, because of happiness and realness, and just being pouring out, how you feel about something with passion. When you have two passions, it's coming
Yep.
out, and you've been doing this for 6 years, I believe, on
6 years. Yep.
YouTube and
And you've
Instagram.
only been doing this for 9 months.
I know, and I'm like, dude, if he's doing this for 6 years and he still has the passion, and I know that if you're real and true about something, that's how it's gonna be. And keep growing in the community, at times. And I know a couple times, like when you had me on the show, I was super ecstatic about it, and I appreciate you having me as a guest on there.
No, of course, yeah.
And
Yeah, Scorpio, thank you again, man. Again, just super proud of you. And again, it really shocks me. You've only been doing this for 9 months. And, just keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm really proud of you.
thank you, I appreciate that, man. And thanks for the support and your community supporting, and thanks for being an inspiration, man. Because you know what, you could want to do something all you want to do, but everybody has to look at other people. We need a community. Everything is always a community, a village.
Yeah, it's a village. Yep.
Yeah, it's a village. You get pumped up by. That's why people, like, for my dance background, we go to like ciphers. You see other dancers come out and dance and do their style and the energy. It's so thank goodness for social media, because this wouldn't have been happening. I wouldn't have found you guys through
Nope.
Instagram, Facebook, mostly Instagram.
Mostly.
And it's like, and then the YouTube, and then even watching like that other guy who goes, we watched that Snow Dub, seeing his community out there, you know
Oh,
um
yeah.
and then there's so many people out there doing things, and it's really good to see that they're passionate about it and they're just doing it. You know what I mean? It's
It's a
like,
breath. It's a breath of fresh air.
it is. And people, go outside, man. If you go outside with your puppets, don't just keep it indoors. You know what I mean?
Once in
That's
a
how.
while. I won't say once in a while, because I only say once in a while because the puppets also absorb heat, especially with the foam. So,
Oh, that's right, huh? Yeah.
don't take them out all the time. Do it once in a
Yeah.
while. You never know.
Okay. Yeah,
Once,
once in a while in the evening.
yes,
In the shade.
especially in the evenings.
Take them to a museum.
You know what? I haven't done that yet, and I might need to. That would sound a lot of fun. Scorpio, thank you again for being here, man. It was such a thrill having you.
Thank you. It's gonna be a pleasure. I can't wait to maybe one day be out in your neck of the woods and
I hope
meeting up with
so.
you guys, man. That would be so
I
awesome.
hope so. I hope to come out to your neck of the woods one day too, man. Never been out on the West Coast, but I hope to one day soon.
Oh man, always welcome.
Yeah, you're always welcome here too, man. Thanks for being here.
That's all for now. Hope you got your fill. Join us next week for another fun-filled, enchanting, and exciting episode of Bingel Smorgasbord. Thanks for visiting. So long.